Dave Scholl, tell it like it is. Nfc East preview, little classic battle from Sam Spence in the background there. Classic football music. August 27th today. Little NFC East preview. I go in order of the worst division. Sorry, Giant fans, but the NFC East, I think, is the third worst division. Only because we don't know where these teams are going. We do say, though, that their schedule, I think, is a positive for them. So perhaps record-wise, it won't show up this way as we put down that music. But the NFC East is, I love that old Redskin logo. Sorry, just can't let it go. Old Redskin logo. We got Rosie in the booth today. Yesterday's National Dog Day. Dave Scholl here, like I said, telling you like it is. NFC East football preview. Pretty excited about the NFC East this year. As a person who lives in New York, and Giant fans have had a tough preseason. Thibodeau getting a little banged up there. Hopefully he's back and healthy, and hopefully Daniel Jones stays healthy, and hopefully the Giant fans can have some happiness this year. I think for more important than any other team in the NFL this year to start, all 32 teams, I think the Giants getting off to at least a 1-on-1 start is more important than any other team in the NFL. And if you look over the last several years, the Giants' starts have been brutal. 0-2, 0-4, 0-5, 0-6. I mean, it's just been brutal. So I feel like more than any other team, because the Giants have been cursed with this for 4 or 5 years. At least they're not playing Dallas on a Sunday night or a Monday night here. Usually it's a Sunday night. This year they open up in Tennessee, but you just feel like, Tennessee game is going to be a fun game, but you just feel like this team really needs to get off to a good start. But anyway, we look at the NFC East. There's so much things we could talk about. A couple of the things here we see for the NFC East. Predictions: Cowboys plus 125 to win, Eagles 180, Commanders plus 500, Giants 700. Cowboys 7-5 record. Maybe with this crappy schedule, I could work. Eagles 12-5. I think that's high. Commanders and the Giants 5-12. I think the Giants a little low. I think they'll be a little better than that. Can Dallas win that second straight division title? They probably should. The division's terrible. Although Ezekiel Elliott, I just don't think they give him the ball enough anymore. We'll have to see what happens. You do have Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs on defense, and Diggs is the real deal, and so is Micah Parsons. I mean, we got to see how that goes. Eagles got Jalen Hurts at quarterback, and whether you love him or not, the man's a winner. You got to love how hard he plays. You got to love what he stands for. I just think the Eagles are a little overrated here. I know the defense is rock solid. They got a great pass rush, but I just don't see that jump to 12-5. Again, the schedule is a little easy. We'll get to that in a minute. Washington Commanders or Redskins, Deadskins, whatever you want to call them. They do sign Carson Wentz, but I don't know. Carson Wentz, something's missing there from the guy who was the MVP of the league. I think they'll be very average, like we say there, and I think they'll be in the middle of the pack. It's an easy schedule, so maybe they can get to 7 or 8 wins. Giants, like I said, I think they're going to be better than the 5-12 predicted here. And again, I ranked this the third worst division because I don't think there's a great team, and I think there's 2 poor teams and an average team. Rosie's in the booth over there. Happy National Dog Day yesterday. Rosie, Lily, and Charlie, my beauties. But Giants are 4-13 last year. I just think we got to get Thibodeau healthy. We got to see if Daniel Jones can stop turning the ball over in the red zone, and we'll get back to that in a minute. But if you look at this division here, intra-conference, the NFC East has the NFC North, which I don't think is bad this year because even though I'm a Viking fan, I feel like the North's not as strong this year as it's been. I think the Lions will take a step up. I think the Pack will take a little step back. I think my Vikes will take a little step up, and I think the Bears will take a step back. So playing the NFC North, I think, will help the NFC East. Intra-conference, playing the AFC South, as we know, that's the worst division of football, in my opinion. So I think they'll get a big boost from that. They also will have 17th game versus the AFC North. Now, that totally depends on which team you get in the AFC North, but the other part is you're going to play subsequent teams from your own record. Okay, so place of finish. So if you finish fourth place last year, you're going to play a fourth place team from other teams in your division. So we're pretty excited about that. But let's just sit here and let's go through the schedule here because I'm a big schedule guy. It's very important. So really looking forward. By the way, we could start a new sports parenting podcast here on Telling Like It Is. Let me know what you think about that. Going to get tons of coaches on. We'll just block out the names and some of the stories out there these days. Keem Talib's brother, and killing a coach at a 9-year-old Pee Wee football game is just a disgrace. But we'll get to that in a minute. So the Cowboys got the usual suspects, which is going to give them some good chances to win. Then they got the Bears, Bengals, Lions at home, Texans, Colts, Buccaneers. So they got a couple of good home games, plus they're easy games in this division here. Away, Giants, Eagles, football, Washington football team, Jags away, Vikings away, Titans away. Vikings have not handled the Cowboys at all the last couple of years. Cowboys not an easy schedule, and I don't think 12-5 is realistic with that schedule. I know the division is easy, and like I said, you got the AFC South, which definitely has some easy teams, but I still don't think they're going to get to 12-5. The Cowboys always find a way to self-destruct. Although I do like Dak, I think he's a winner. Cowboy fans getting frustrated. I haven't won too many playoff games over the years, in the last bunch of years. Anyway, Philadelphia Eagles home for the usual suspects. Then they got the Pack, the Jags, the Vikes, the Saints, the Steelers, and the Titans. The Vikings have played the Eagles, I feel like 10 years in a row. It just feels like that. Away, usual suspects. And then you got the Cardinals away, Bears away, Lions away. So right there, the Eagles have some breaks. Texans away and Colts away. So their road schedule is easier than their home schedule. And not even because their home schedule is obviously at home, but their actual teams they're playing, quality of opponents is easier on the road. We saw that last week with a couple of teams in our preview of the NFC South. The Deadskins stay slept. 7.5 or 5.5, depending which poll you believe here. Usual suspects in their division. Then they got to play the Falcons. That should be the yawner of all yawners right there. It's the old suck bowl held in Flushing. Cleveland Browns, who knows what they're going to be. It depends when you play the Browns, because as we know, Deshaun's suspended for 11 games. We got the Pack. We got Jacksonville, Minnesota, and the Titans. Away, which is a big problem for them. They got the Eagles, the Bears, the Lions, Texans, Colts, and the Niners. So Deadskins going to have a tough year. Giants, obviously, the usual suspects at home, but then they have the Ravens, the Panthers, the Bears, the Lions, the Texans, and the Colts. Having the Ravens at home, got to take advantage of Giants, and the Bears, and the Panthers at home, and the Lions and the Texans. Right there, you got a chance to win some games. If you could take care of the Commanders at home, the Panthers, the Bears, the Lions, and the Texans, that's 5 wins at home right there. Okay, that's pretty solid right there. You're off to a decent start right there. You maybe get to a 5-win year at home. You're doing some good things there. You're 5-3 at home. See what their road games are here. Okay, let's see what their road games are. The road games at Dallas, obviously, the Eagles, the Washington football team. They're at the Pack. That's pretty tough. Got to see if you can get this Jacksonville game. That could be 6 wins. My Vikings, I don't think they're going to beat them. Seahawks could be 7. Tennessee away. That's maybe they can tweak out 7 games. I think they're going to be better than 5-12. I just think the NFC this year is not as good as the AFC overall. A lot of the talent left the NFC and crossed over to the AFC. See Russell Wilson, see Devontae Adams, people like that. The league just seems like it's had a little bit of a shift. I feel like the AFC is a lot stronger right now. I feel like it's that point in the mid-'80s where the AFC just seemed a little bit stronger until the Giants and the Bears kind of broke that Super Bowl streak. If you go back and you look, there was quite an AFC Super Bowl streak for a while. And I feel like it's going to be back to that. If this year, I feel like we're going to get a little AFC dominance. And we'll see how it go from there. It was also a great streak for the NFC too, where the Broncos lost a bunch, the Bills lost a bunch in a row. So it's gone in streaks. It's very cyclical, as we know. So again, I feel like the Giants are going to be a little bit better than 6.5. I feel like the Deadskins are not going to be better than 7.5. I feel like the Eagles are not going to be 12.5. I think 8.5 is better for the Eagles. And the Cowboys, I don't think are a 12-5 team. I think maybe to get to 11-6 with the easiness of the schedule. I don't think it's a great league. Let's look at some other factors here. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be a fantastic league. But like I said, great scheduling, though. I mean, you look at that, you get to go play the AFC South. Can't beat that. AFC South's not going to be a good football team, but not a good football team in the AFC South. Maybe the Titans are okay, and I think the Colts will be much improved, but I just don't feel like there's going to be a lot there. But anyway, again, so we got to again look at this and see if the boy wonder comes back, Carson Wentz, and makes this, makes the Commanders representable. Their defense has some good guys on there, but they do have one of the easiest schedules. And like I said, they spent a ton of money on Carson Wentz. Schedule's easy, but like I said, we'll see how the offensive line is. Had a lot of injuries last year. Giants got to stay healthy. Got to get freaking, the stud draft pick back. We need him back on defense. Got to get the receivers to catch the ball for you. Kenny Galladay dropped a couple of bad balls in practice. I hear from Kim Jones, who's reporting on some stuff. We all see the Giant fans. Like I said, Giants really need to get off to a better start. I think really the first 2 games of the season for the Giants are more important than the first 2 games for anybody else in the season, just because the Giants have had some atrocious starts the last couple of years. And my Giant buddies at work probably going to get sick here and that, but it's the truth. Jalen Hurts, like I said, you don't have to love him, but he is tough as nails. I think he plays to win. I feel like we're going to see some strides for them. I think they're going to be a little bit better, but I still think the Cowboys are a better team. But then again, all this could go out the window at any team when you get injuries. The NFL, as we know, is a big time injury league, but I think they got to get Ezekiel involved in the offense more. I think they've given up on him a little bit too quick over the years. I know you get banged up after a while, but I still think he's got a good 20 carries in him. I know the game has changed that way, but they do have a good backup running back. Obviously, he's a stud too, but you got to get him involved in the offense. I think the Cowboys could find a way to win, although Mike McCarthy, I think, is one of the worst coaches in the NFL. How you only get Aaron Rodgers to one big-time game in your life is beyond me, but Packers still haven't been back, but they have a better record every year. So I always wanted Mike McCarthy never to leave Green Bay. Now he's in Dallas. So again, that's where we're at here with the NFC East. We're going to make a great decision next time on which division to go from here. Let me know what you think. We're now on iHeartRadio as well. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. Apple's helping us out a lot. Definitely subscribe to us. 99 cents. Keep it cheap for a reason. Just doing this for fun and love. The thing is, you got to figure out what's the 4th worst division. Reach out to me on Facebook or Twitter, or if you know me, have my phone number, you can text it out there. Let me know what you think. What is the 4th worst division? It could be the NFC North where I'm at. Or it could be the AFC North where I'm at. We know it's not the 2 Wests. It could be the AFC East is going to be pretty good too. So we got to see which is the 4th worst division. I don't know. It could be the NFC or the AFC North. I'm giving a little hint there. I know you guys are eagerly anticipating that. I'm going to post that real soon. And we'll go from there. Until then, I want to thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving us a listen. Listen to how you feel. Tell them like it is. Thanks for coming.